Hi, in this video I go over some of the basics of the marbs system. This guide will help you get started using the environment and explain some of the fun quirks with it. Quick intro for those who haven't actually been on the marbs website and don't really know what I'm talking about. Marbs is what I would call a meta desktop environment. Similarly to GNOME, KDE, XFCE, Marbs provides a straightforward way to use your computer for your daily needs and professional needs. It includes a set of apps that work tightly together to offer you a coherent experience and speed. I call Marbs a meta desktop environment because, unlike the aforementioned, the apps used here haven't been developed specifically for any desktop environment, but rather I chose the minimalistic keyboard-driven apps that offer high extensibility and customize them to fit together and integrate really well. There are some programs, however, where I modified the source code myself, but let's not go all over that. Without further ado, let's jump into the system. Map setup is very straightforward. After a successful installation of Arch or Artix Linux, which I will not go over here, there are many great tutorials on how to do that. On the root account, you first get the installer by curling it off the marbs website. So let's go marbs.kuchta.dev/marbs.sh. Yep, and we get the script and we just run it using shell. We get the welcome message and let's set up a new user called demo user. And do we want a KD keyboard remapper? And this is highly recommended if you just have a regular laptop keyboard and if there are the keyboards with programmable microcontrollers, but for most of the users it's gonna be a yup. And then depending on whether you have a high resolution monitor, you can select the high DPI option. I'm gonna just select nope, I'm all good. And yeah, let's just confirm it and fast forward to once everything has been installed. Great, everything's now installed and we log out of the root account and log in to the newly created demo user. Once you have logged into your fresh new system after marbs setup, you really see only two things: the status bar and the current workspace area. The status bar, divided into three main columns, includes the workspace indicator on the left. After a fresh login, you will have only one workspace present, highlighted with the magenta color. And next to that, there will be the square braces symbol. This symbol indicates the current layout in which your programs are tiled. Soon you will know what it all is about. And the current app title in the center, if no app is open, it will be blank. And the system status on the right displays current CPU usage, RAM usage, battery levels, volume, time, and when used, screenshot, record or recording status. You can see that we have a recording status now. And let's launch our first program. There are many ways of launching programs with marbs. The most universal method is by using Alt-Shift-Enter to get our program launcher. And just type in the name of the program you want. And let's say we launch the LibreWolf browser. And we have it open, and now let's launch the food terminal, which is our terminal emulator. And yeah, this is our current workspace area. Once you have two programs present, you can see that they got split in half. This is what is meant by a tiling window manager. Now you can distribute those programs across many workspaces. To do so, press Alt, Shift, and the number of workspace, let's say 2, to send the currently focused window to the second workspace. Now you can switch between those workspaces by holding Alt and pressing the workspace number. So let's go to Alt 2 to the second workspace and back. And you can also try jumping around these different workspaces and sending your windows to them. If I send it to 9th, it's on the 9th. It's a very crucial concept and it helps you tremendously with organizing your workflow. And you might also notice that the status bar changes where a number with a gray background indicates that there is something present in the given workspace. You might also notice that when you launch apps, they get shown in the current workspace you are in. So if we launch here a terminal, it gets displayed in the current workspace. But that's kind of obvious. I mentioned also the layout indicator in the status bar. DWL has the concept of layouts. You can switch between those with different key bindings. So for example, if I have, let's send the terminal there to the 9th workspace, and let's now switch from the tiled layout, which is the default indicated by the square braces, to the monocle, which displays only the master window, or we can also do the equal vertical layout. If we spawn another terminal here, for example, it's gonna split equally, and yeah, let's close them down. And yeah, and we can go back to the monocle and back to the tiling. And yeah, that's the concept of layouts, and you can see the layout indicator changes appropriately to the layout we have now set. This is the absolute core of what a window manager, i.e. DWL, does. It provides us with an environment where our apps get displayed and change the layout they are displayed in. If you got to this point, you would be theoretically sufficient to use the computer as is. It would be a bit inconvenient though, as even a few more key bindings would yield you massive power and convenience. Therefore, after finishing with this guide, your next step would be to learn more about the window manager. For that, I strongly recommend you check out Dave's visual guide to DWM, and then the DWL cheat sheet file, present in the Maps cheat sheet bundle or on the DWL subpage of the project website. That includes all the useful key bindings and some technical details on how to modify them. Regarding also the whole marbs setup, I recommend you check out the post-install document on the Marbs website, as it has some additional steps to really polish the experience, related to, for example, web browser and the GTK theme, as well as troubleshooting some of the common problems. Furthermore, this showcase guide has a very important follow-up guide. It's split from this video so that you don't get overwhelmed, and it's nice to repeat some of the steps shown here first. But it's of course not a must-do. And the last thing I want to talk about is the Marbs keyboard has a few improvements and features to the standard one you might be accustomed to. Let's open up the keyboard file present in config, xkb, and symbols. So let's open it up using primv. It's like the small utility. And yep, we got it open. And you can see the caps lock key is swapped with the left control. So these two are swapped. It might take you an hour to get used to that, but once you have it, there's absolutely no coming back, and everything that is not set up that way is unergonomic stupidity. And the new control, which is the previous caps lock, so still this one, upon swift tap acts like an escape. So this is made so that it is convenient for you to switch modes in Vim and Vim-like programs. And caps lock is now right control plus new control, which I know sounds weird, but this is this one, and of course the old caps lock key. And but really, have you really found yourself using caps lock that often? I know I haven't, but if you do, you can still turn it on, of course. And now backslash is now swapped with the front slash, so these two, and consequently pipe symbol and the question mark. So imagine these two being swapped. And this is something entirely personal. I found it like more ergonomic, but it can be debatable unlike the three above, so feel free to change it. And furthermore, the pipe symbol can still be inputted from the odd place. So this one by pressing right Alt or Alt GR and the now new /. Also, the backslash can still be input from this same place by pressing the Alt Control, so the left control, and new front slash. So basically, this allows you to eliminate the front slash key here altogether. I just found it in a very inconvenient place. But yeah, you can feel free to change it because these modifications are done by the KD remapping daemon. And you can check out the whole configuration by visiting from your user directory the config kd default.conf. So we can exit this and we can go .config kd and default.conf, and you can see the whole configuration, the ID where it match, the which ID you want it to match. So if it's a laptop keyboard, it's probably gonna be 001 or 01, and the main functionality where it swaps the control, etc., etc., and the left control functionality or the left alt control. I know this is super confusing, but once you jump into the keyboard, it's gonna make much more sense. But otherwise, the keyboard layout is based on the standard American language layout, but adjusted in a way to type German characters as well as some other Slavic characters. This is useful for mapping LGR combinations in programs like Vim. So you can have a lot more key bindings just by using the right alt. If you want to find out more about those key bindings, you can visit .config/nvim/init.lua, but that's getting out of the scope now. And note to all friends using the ISO layout, so the layout like this one, the keycap symbols will not match the actual in-system meaning. You'd have to get used to the new layout because of the way all systems, the whole system and in-app key bindings are laid out. But yeah, that's it for this video. But check out the next guide that goes over the steps that the system takes during the startup, and check out marbs.kuchta.dev to learn more about the system. Nach dann!